Hey there, guys. What is going on? We do this every time a new map comes out, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing the Apocalypse map guide. This is the brand new map in Season 2 of Cold War. This is the 6v6 content that they have given us for the season. Hopefully there's another map that comes along. But anyway, something funny about this little map guide. I was trying to record this morning, and apparently you couldn't access Apocalypse in a custom game. And as I got home this afternoon, they had already fixed it. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, as usual, we start off with the B, A, and C flags. So B is in the middle there next to the truck. We'll talk about that in a sec. C, of course, is this little courtyard area, which this is one of the most important parts of the map just there. Keep that in mind. We'll talk about that in a sec. As I said, B is in the middle with the truck. And then, of course, you go all the way over to A. We can sort of take a look through the map as we go. But yeah, mostly A, we got C, B, and of course A over the back here. A is at the back of that courtyard there. Now, as we normally do with these videos, the map guides on Apocalypse, we are going to be taking a look at some certain spots and key positions on this map because there's a lot to cover on something that is actually quite small. There's a lot of important power positions on this map to take care of. So starting us off here, this is probably the most hotly contested thing in the map, and it's mostly because it is a very, very powerful position. This is a position here. Look through both sides of this wall. This is one of the most powerful positions on the map, but if you get caught on the wrong side of it, you get caught running up here, and somebody is sitting on this, you are going to die. Even if you pre-fire them, even if you pre-fire that area, if somebody is just sitting here and you peek around the corner, you're probably going to die. Now, you have to keep in mind here that this is going to be a cat and mouse game. Like, every single time somebody is sitting up here, you might come around the corner, they're not there, you push up, maybe take this, and you've won this for your team, and then you can sort of hold this area. So this is a very, very important position on the map. This particular little line of sight here, they did this intentionally. This is actually a very, very cool piece of design. And essentially we can look through here. This does actually see that part as well. This is an important place to cover. We can see over this little line of sight down there. That does protect somebody who is on this here. If they are like crouching and not poking their head up, you can sort of save them from getting shot from this position here. Also, this is another position here as well. You can actually jump up on this wall and come around the back here. Usually people are sitting on there, so you can take them out fairly consistently. But again, what I have noticed actually is the spawns are a little bit scuffed on this map. There is a little bit too openness to this spawn. If you are trying to come out of here, mostly you see people sitting on that barrel there, in that building there, and maybe on this truck here. Because what this does is you can literally see all the way back into the spawn there. Like you spawn back there, as you can see, like you spawn up there, and you can sit here in this position here, take out that window. A lot of people sit in that window as well. And then on this blue barrel as well, you can sit here and mostly take out people who do come out of this spawn. So keep that in mind if you are spawning in here. It is you're more likely to survive if you go out that way. You can also go over here, take that corridor, or you can jump out of this little window here as well. You get a nice position if you lean up on here. You can almost see someone little like sitting on that ramp over there. So keep that in mind if you are in this back area. You can also use this to cover from that position. You can see almost back there. If you have a sniper, you can use this little line of sight to maybe pick someone off who is coming through there. But most importantly, you'll be wanting to keep an eye on that little box. Little murder hole there is very, very important, as we said. But as I mentioned, yes, you are spawning back here, which is kind of interesting. Like, you are, of course, spawning back here, which is not too bad. Like, this is a protected spawn. This is fine. But when you come out of here, mostly people are going to be sitting there, and on the truck as well. And it does actually figure the same on the other side. So don't just think that if you do spawn here, you're screwed. But as we move through the map, you can see, like, this is another high ground position here as well. You really want to be in and out of these close, tight-knit areas. There's a lot of angles that you got to check here. Mostly people will sit up on that corner there, as you can see, onto the B flag. So you got to keep that in mind. If you're moving around here, maybe you can chuck a grenade up there and do some work. But really, there's a lot of different ways to get up and out of this area. There is those boxes there, and you can actually just like jump up, which is nice as well. We can come into this, and this is the back spawn over there. You spawn on the A flag, you spawn behind these trucks, which again is just a very long line of sight. If you poke up on these barrels here, you really can just shoot all the way back into the enemy spawn. So that is kind of dangerous. If you are spawning over there, you can just get head glitched and just poked from this position here. So keep that in mind. Another important thing here is this particular position. This isn't super strong because mostly people can see from that window there, as well as the spawns and that line of sight there. So if you are sitting here, you're probably going to get shot from there, there, or there. And you can also be seen from that position on the B flag. As well, if you are looking to come up here, never, ever, ever, ever climb up the ladder. Like you see, it's not actually that slow, but your weapon goes down. So if you are looking to do this in a speedy way, or more stealthily, it does like a little bit of noise on the ladder as well. You just jump up like that, jump up on this blue barrel, and then just jump up. Don't climb the ladder, man. Your gun goes away for too long and you end up screwed. So you're also able to chuck grenades and stuff over this open little corridor. If you see somebody is going to be sitting on the C flag side, that little courtyard thing there, so you can just chuck a Semtex, chuck a grenade, and it will likely land up there and do some damage to them, push them off that position there. Again, this is actually, this is a really cool position. Like, you might not even know this is here. You come under the helicopter, you come around the back here. This is near the A flag. This is also a hard point down here. This is a very hard to, like, stop people from holding this hard point because you can just be easily seen from there. You can also be seen from this position here. Like, you can just be shot as you walk through that area. So keep this in mind. This is not the way to push this particular hard point. But anyway, as I was saying, this is one of the most hilarious spots I've ever seen. Like, if people are coming down here, you can just go, you can just stand on the, like, the rotor blade thing, and people will just walk underneath you. Like, it's, like, you can just stand on this thing, people walk underneath you, you don't have to move or do anything, and you just go, and they die. It's actually hilarious. Just keep that spot in mind. You aren't going to be wanting to look up here as you run through here. Like, it's not a spot you should check, but if people are going to be sitting in it, just keep that in mind. Maybe don't come this way because, yeah, you can just sit here and just go and just wait for people to come down. It's actually hilarious. Anyway, moving back towards the A flag, of course, there is this little room here that we can sit in. You can sort of poke out that side towards the actual spawn. The spawn is, of course, as I said, back there, which is kind of interesting. It's fairly open, but I feel like we could use probably a little bit more protection from that blue barrel line of sight that we're looking at there. Like, there's probably needs to be like maybe like a little wall or something there, that like a roadblock or something, just something so they're not just running out in the open. But yeah, as I said, you can see pretty much this entire line of sight through here. See that doorway, which people will come out from the other side, and then that doorway there as well. And you can also see all the way up to the B flag from this window, but people will sit there, people will shoot you from there, people will shoot you from there. So you are fairly exposed from about 3 or 4 angles every single time you try and sit here. We come onto the A flag area again, and this is where we spawn. We showed off this spawn before. Like, we look here, it doesn't actually look too bad. If you are spawning back here, you will see people sitting up there. You can all spawn all the way back here. People will sit there, people will sit in that room, people will sit there, and people will sit on that blue barrel. So you just got to keep that in mind. If you are trying to cross or leave this spawn, your best bet is probably to go towards the A flag and go in that building there so you don't have to cross the little pathway. So maybe just come around the back here. But yeah, most of the time, if you do cross this little road here, there's going to be someone sitting there, maybe someone sitting there, and maybe someone sitting there. So maybe just go towards the building. And again, we come around this side. This is an interesting little room. You can sort of hold the spawn from here as well. You can see right into their spawn. People will just spawn in front of you. You can shoot you are far enough away that they will still spawn here. And you can use this as a little line of sight. That tree does block off a little bit there. But yeah, mostly you can just sit here and pick people off as they do spawn. If you were to come out of here and this little, like, rock formation wasn't here, you would be in direct line of sight of the murder hole, which would be absolutely terrible for this. So if you ever think that they don't really know what they're doing with the Call of Duty map design, just keep this stuff like this in mind. Like, this is very important. If this wasn't here, this would be just such a bad way to come through here. You can also use this to sort of peek up on people who are sitting there. This is not really a very powerful position because most of the time people who are sitting on this wall here will have the position, like, they'll have the opposition over you. So you will be sort of at a disadvantage if you are trying to fire on somebody who is, like, sitting on that hid glitch there. It is important that this is still a good position. If somebody isn't, you can usually just chuck like a grenade there and it'll push them off, and then you can maybe push up, check there, and then check the corners here. But again, similar spot here. This can control the back of the C flag, but again, you will be contesting this pretty much like the entire map. And if you are contesting it, people will usually jump over this wall and shoot somebody who is there, shoot somebody who is there, and move on with their day, maybe even control it for themselves. Another very important part of this map is this room here. This room does basically connect the entire map. Like, all of the lanes you converge onto here. So you can run into here, run up into this building, shoot into the mid lane, move over across here, shoot people that are coming out of there. This little rock formation, the head doesn't actually protect from this room here. So that is interesting. You can also use this room here to protect from that position there. Again, you can usually chuck a grenade in that location up there and it will scare somebody off who is on the ramp. But yeah, most of the time you do see people moving towards the C flag or a hard point that is located up in that end. They'll come out of here, they'll run behind the head, and you can usually just take them out very, very easily as they run across there. But as I said, you can also use this position here to take this spawn here. Like, this is, again, very, very powerful. Like, they will continue to spawn back there. If you do hold this, you back off a little bit, you maybe come around the back here, come into this room again and have people spawn there, and they shoot them on the spawn. So the spawns are actually very, very important on this map, and it's important to keep that in mind when you are moving through here. But again, there is the ammo supply thing, so if you do waste all your ammo, you want to resupply, it doesn't have to... This will reload your weapon for you, which is actually cool. Then you come back through here. The truck isn't super important. You can see, like, those line of sight, that back there. But for the most part, this is one of the most important parts of the map alongside the murder hole area that's up there. This building, if you control this building and the murder hole, you should win a lot of your games here. Unfortunately, you can't actually jump onto this section here. You can also sort of sometimes just jump up. Don't even worry about the ladder and just jump up there. I wish you could jump on there. That'd be hilarious. Like, It seems like you should be able to jump onto there, but apparently you can't, so it is what it is, I guess. But other than that, Apocalypse is actually really, really cool. I've seen some sort of negative feedback, but also seen some very positive feedback. I really like this map, for example. Like this room here, you can also see the spawn back there. Like you can see back there as well, as I mentioned, back there. You can see that alleyway, and of course that window, if you do a little jump shot, you can also throw like a Semtex or something in there as well. But for the most part, there's not too much else going on with this map. Again, there is some important battle positions that you need to contest in order to be able to win. So you will, if you are holding this barrel here, you will expect a lot of grenades to sort of land in this area here, because it's a very powerful position to sit on this barrel, wait for people to pick up, you jump up and shoot them. But under here also, again, you can sort of control the B flag from this position here, and not a lot of people will look under here for you because they'll be busy trying to cap it, and you'll be under here in the dark. So if you've got a dark colored skin, you've got some camo stuff. Sitting in this dark area here in particular, this is really dark corner. This is very powerful as well. You can control the B flag in the mid lane there. But really, as I was saying, there isn't really much else to this map. Like, it's pretty small, and there is some pretty important, like, sight lines and positions to be able to hold. But anyway, as we normally do with this one, I do appreciate you checking out this video, of course. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I massively appreciate it, and it really does help me out. We are, of course, going to have some class setups on the new weapon very, very soon, of course, so don't miss out on any of that. As I was saying, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!